So we are back. Jason G is here. Paul is here. I'm Paul. He's Jason. And we just finished coming out of seeing Sinners.
Sinners.
That's right. A new Ryan Coogler movie starring Michael B. Jordan. And
Michael B. Jordan, yeah.
Jason, what did you think about Sinners?
No, I thought Sinners was a blast. It reminded me a lot like genre horror sci-fi movies. You know, there was obviously similarities to From Dusk Till Dawn and The Thing, but then there's a story that takes place down south in the 30s, I believe, right?
Yes.
When it starts
In 1931, 1932,
Okay.
I think it was. In Mississippi.
and then great production design, a lot of fun all around. Great. Got a lot of great actors, and I tell you we'll get into it a little bit, but just one thing I want to say, like I noticed in the very beginning that the technology to put the same actor as two different characters on the screen at the same time is just getting unbelievably like perfection, because I don't know if you saw Mickey 17, but that was also incredible.
I really enjoyed Mickey 17.
And that like similar to this, like the technology is just incredible, how it's just seamless, absolutely seamless.
I always felt that there were two separate
There were
characters.
two separate characters,
I
yeah.
never felt that Michael B. Jordan, twice. I felt like, these are two separate people. So great job by Michael B. Jordan in the script.
Yeah, how many movies have they done together? Ryan Coogler and them. I mean, there's so many, right?
Fruitvale Station, Creed, Black Panther
Black Panther.
2. No, it's Black Panther 1, not Black Panther 2.
Yeah, no, that's right. He was in the second one. Yeah.
Yeah. So like 4 or 5 by now,
And
or
then-
more.
and,
And they probably produced some things together
Yes,
as well.
yes.
I think they produced the second Creed movie. Yeah.
Okay.
I think I could be wrong about that. But any other thoughts? Or that's your first round?
Yeah, that's my first round. I mean, overall, it was a lot of fun. There were times that it was a little. I think it could be tightened up. It was a little slow in the beginning, maybe. But it is a lot of fun. It's not as because From Dusk Till Dawn is just like so over the top, and it's so goofy and Looney Tunes almost. But this is a little more serious, and then it has to do with the time in the South, and then like him getting
Ku Klux
the
Klan.
Ku Klux Klan selling the brothers land, and then
This is a spoiler review, by the way.
there's a
so we won't
spoiler
get into
review.
spoilers.
I just looked online. It's now out of 155 reviews, 98%. So that's
On
doing
Rotten Tomatoes.
very well on
Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes. But yeah, but overall, very tight, very, very well done movie. I like also, the way that the end just keeps going, and it has a great mid-credit sequence that takes place in the 90s, and they got the look down too, like
The clothing.
and the styles,
Yeah, that was fun.
the colors.
I laughed, and I laughed more than that because it was funny. But it was fun that they were like kind of working on being time accurate with the way Haley Steinfeld's character was dressed. Michael B. Jordan, his they're both vampires at this point.
Yes.
How he was dressed with the flat top and like the Coogee looking sweater and the big ring, like the multi-finger ring, kind of with his.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jason,
like late 80s,
sorry.
early 90s, like hip hop
Exactly,
style, right?
exactly.
Two characters, two brothers, right? One is Smoke and one is Stack. That's pretty clever. I thought
Yes,
that was nice.
Smokestack Brothers, yeah. My thoughts, first round. The biggest issue with this movie for me was I did not care about the backstory, and it spent so much time on the backstory of these characters. I was just like, I got bored. I even fell asleep at points. And
Oh, okay.
I also felt that the movie is longer than it needs to be. Like this movie could have ended like maybe like 15, 20 minutes earlier. I was reading the description of the movie, and it talks about the description of the movie is like that these twin brothers, they are trying to escape their past, but they return back home only to find an evil greater than them. But the movie is completely not about these brothers. It's not about the brothers. It's not about the vampire portion, which was a lot of fun. It's about this one kid, and the movie starts talking about, like in the credits, like this one kid who was really gifted at playing music, and that the way he plays music, it has a connection to the living and the dead. And the movie focuses around this character, like everything else around him is just kind of secondary. So this movie is like a couple of movies. It's really like two or three movies inside of one. The story focusing around the main person, to me, was the musician kid, was good. And
Sammy?
Sammy, that's right,
yeah.
Preacher Boy Sammy.
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
way it even ends with like kind of him, he was the focus of the ending as well. I thought that was well done. But because you and I have seen many movies, we've seen lots of vampire movies, and we get this much intro to a character, and then it just the rest of it is just like a blood fest and gore fest, which is, you know, I think I was wanting. But Ryan Coogler definitely elevates the regular kind of horror vampire movie with this one. Stylistically incredible. The movie's even a musical at parts, and the music and the way it felt, you really felt transported to this South, like the picture that the world was kind of showing us. You really felt transported there. Now, Jason, what's your second round? If you have any more thoughts?
That was fine for me. Like, you know, it's almost like a long, like, you know, like a novel. Like, you have a lot of stories going on, and I actually liked that aspect of it. I actually liked that they had different stories going on, and that if it went here to there and everywhere. I thought that was it's strong part. So anyway, that worked for me actually. I thought that, you know, the way the trailer makes it look like, and you know, the way they show the characters of you know, the brothers on the poster, I thought that like the brothers were bringing people in, and they're going to be the vampires, or they were in on it. So I was wrong about that, but I was, you know,
have a big sacrifice.
We're gonna have a big party. Come on, we're gonna have a big you know, what's it called, juke
joint.
Yeah. And then
That's like
invite everyone.
They opened up a club, and they're trying to make a business of opening up a club down south. Yeah.
Right. So that
they were returning from.
I was.
The movie says like a troubled past. Like they did some crimes to get the funds together and the resources to get this club going.
I think there was maybe some part that was cut or missing, like, you know, like, because they just all of a sudden start the vampire story where there's one guy showing up burning at these two people's houses, and then the Native American Indians, right? They came.
They were after him,
and they were after him.
Like they knew what he
was.
Right,
they knew what he
like,
was.
This guy's
and they're like, you didn't invite him in, right? Because that's gonna be a lot of trouble.
Like, exactly.
So I thought, like, I you know, they could have like stretched that a little longer, because
that was interesting.
That was very interesting, right?
Yeah, like
having the Indians come back later, the Native Americans come back later, that would have been interesting too. So
you only see them the
maybe
one time.
There's
but it
yeah,
to
maybe they
build on your point, like
shave some parts down and then, you know, extend that part a little bit. That would have been even nicer. But still, I enjoyed it.
It gave it more like of a, this guy's a serious threat. When I don't know why when the Indians came, they were like telling the person, you better chill. So no, that's a good point.
Right. Who was the one guy who this guy? He was in a lot of movies back in the maybe 90s. He was the guy who was like standing as the doorman, you know, the cornbread, yeah. But he was in a lot of movies.
Yeah,
and he didn't age. He looks the same as he always has.
He does, and he often is like a sympathetic big man. And in
this
one, he was.
But
like
what other movies have we seen him in?
I forget, but I
think he was in Wildcats with Goldie Hawn, or like so many movies.
I remember his face, but I don't remember like what movies. I mean, did you have any more thoughts?
No. I mean, that was just adding on to that, you know. So we could go around the score if you want, or.
Well, I have one more round of thoughts. Now, like some of the things that I like, to me, Delroy Lindo stole this movie.
Well, he's always so good.
But I mean, like his lines and the way he played against other characters.
Oh, yeah.
He was fantastic. Michael B. Jordan was very good, and he's in the majority of it. The cast was fantastic.
And then the cast was fantastic.
Yeah, the cast was fantastic. Yeah.
Both ladies, you know, both ladies of the brothers, right?
No, like to me, there was nobody.
Girlfriends, and then Sammy was amazing.
Was great. Like, the love interest was. I saw the love interest in something else, but I can't remember. The love interest was very good. The dialogue and the speech, it just felt very like natural and very together.
Obviously, the garlic scene, testing everyone, that was like the thing. But then
yeah,
I was expecting something to happen.
Yeah.
Nothing happened. That was like anticlimactic, I thought.
But then they figured out that the guy who was out, that they put him out, like it was just wine, that he was like.
Yeah, and then that wasn't. And then he's like, let me in. And then
he was actually, he was a sacrifice.
And then Cornbread got him.
Cornbread got him.
Cornbread was still hungry.
He freaking sacked him, you know what I mean? What is your score, Jason, from a scale of 1 to 10?
I would say 8.6. It was very good. I enjoyed it a lot. You know, there's certain scenes, like I said, that could have been shortened, and then other scenes that could have been a little longer. And but overall, I enjoyed it very much. Like it kept getting better for me. Like the ending just kept making the movie better and better and better. I really loved it. You know?
It filled out more of Sammy's final story. For me, this is like a 7.9 because, like I said, I loved the style and the acting was great and the look of the movie was so good. I think Ryan Coogler was trying to elevate like a vampire kind of movie with making it something more. but it just did not always work. I even found the part where, like, there's this one cool scene. Thank you. Brother. There's this one cool scene where, like, they're really showing the skills of Sammy. Like, he has this ability, like I said, to wake up the dead, like to connect with the dead and the living with his music. But then it breaks out into, like, he can connect with the future and all these different people dancing. And I found that so hokey. I was like, this is not cool. I don't know how this movie is sitting at a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, because, like, I know there's other people that feel the way I feel. I think
it's gonna do extremely well.
I hope it does. Like, when I got to the theater, the theater was very empty. Excuse me. It was really empty. But as Jason got there, he got it close to the beginning of the movie. There were more people there. Very interesting that Ryan Coogler did with the rights for this movie with Warner Brothers. Like, this is like something that other people have never done. Where he signed something where Warner Brothers can own it for 25 years, but then after that, the rights go back to him.
Oh, interesting.
Which is like a deal that people never heard of.
He's thinking ahead. He's like a chess player, right? Yeah.
Exactly. So, I don't think this is Ryan Coogler's best film, but whatever he makes next, 100%.
I read one article. I think it was the Hollywood Reporter. I don't know. I was just like skimming the articles, and then I opened up the Hollywood Reporter article, the review of it, and they said that this was his. They thought whoever wrote it was this was his best movie, but I would say. Probably not. I would say for me, Black Panther is his best movie. But
I love Creed.
I
love that.
But everyone have different opinions. He makes lots of different kinds of movies. He's a great director. But all in all, I mean,
exactly. And movies are subjective.
And I hope he just keeps able to make more and more.
He's gonna make movies for a long time. But this felt like a movie you go to the movies to go see. Like, there's been so many movies that have come out.
That you feel like, I could see it at home or something.
Yeah,
but this one,
100%.
This one should be seen in the theater.
They should, 100%.
Because
I would say
you need that sound, you need that side
and
screen.
It was so good. Like, we saw it, and Jason always hooks it up. He always picks great seats, and also the theaters to watch. He picked the Dolby, right?
The Dolby Cinema, yep.
And the sound is booming in there for sure.
And great for the music.
It is. Like, you feel the punches and the falling. You feel everything. But this was a movie worth going to the movies to go see. I can't say that about, like, so many movies that came out between January and February. Like, I saw a Novocaine, a Last Breath, and I saw Flight Risk, and those all felt like kind of streaming movies.
Right.
And I liked some of those movies, but I felt the Amateur, Captain America: Brave New World, and now this are movies you go to the movies to go see.
Okay.
We're going to wrap it up now. Thank you so much for watching this. Thank you so much for checking this out. If you have any thoughts or comments, do so below in this video, or if you're listening to the podcast form, you can do that on the blog at paulhasfun.com. That's Jason G. I'm Paul after having a freaking coughing fit.
All right.
I'll catch you on the next one. Bang.
Peace. Later.